Hey Internet, it's Phil, and this is kind of a different video for me. This is something I'm calling Chill Zone. There is some gameplay, but it's not going to be the focal point. I'm playing Animal Crossing because it's a chill game, and I thought it would be a fun game to just kind of play and chat. This is going to be like an unfiltered, unedited show. I'm about to freak out in a second, but that is the biggest coincidence ever. Okay, so you may notice, before I get into the meat of this is a new Animal Crossing town. My old game got deleted, so I had to start over, and I was going to integrate it into the story for the next Animal Crossing video, which probably won't be till February, because it's going to take me a long time to get a bunch of new screenshots to use. And so I started a new town, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get Cherry back, because she's an important character in the whole thing. And apparently she's just in my town again, which means we're destined to be together. I mean, the new update was going to let me use her amiibo card, but this is pretty incredible. Wow. Okay, cool. Anyway, that is the biggest coincidence in the world. So have fun, by the way, with the fact that I can't speak in regular sentences as a person. My videos are highly, highly edited in terms of audio. If you ever watched me stream, then you know that as well. And I'm just like sitting on my couch in my living room, which is why the sound isn't going to be as good. But I thought I would just play a game and chill. And I'm going to try to edit as little as possible, just kind of let it be its own thing. And this will just be a show where I can kind of talk about whatever's going on. We can do Q&A if you guys have any questions for me. And it'll just be a fun time. So this specifically came about because I wanted to do an update video on the 3rd anniversary of the channel and on the updates and what's coming up. And I just didn't feel like getting out my camera and like doing the whole setup thing, and I just didn't feel like it. And I thought, why don't I just play a game and talk, because that's the thing that people do. And I've really grown to like that kind of video lately, where it's just a chill, like Wild Crendor does videos where he just plays World of Warcraft and he just flies around and talks. And I think they're wonderful. I like listen to them before I'm gonna fall asleep. And this guy is delightful. I've never seen these other villagers besides Cherry. I need to remember to take pictures too, sorry. Again, this is the first time I'm doing this, so it's gonna be a little rough, I'm sure, for the first time. I should record all my first meetings. Yeah, we're gonna talk about updates and stuff. I think this will be a nicer way to do it, and then we can do more in the future and talk about just whatever's going on, whatever's on my mind. Now you can learn more about me. I can learn more about you. I guess I don't know how I'm gonna learn more about you. That was me misspeaking. Let's check out our new town though. So yeah. So the channel is 3 years old. That's crazy to me. It has been a wild, wild ride. I guess not that wild, actually. It's just been a ride. But it's been a fun ride. I have enjoyed it a lot. I'm still enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying making videos more than I ever have. I have so many ideas and things I want to make for the coming year, and I'm working on a few of them now. So hopefully we're going to have a lot of cool stuff coming up. What do we have coming? So these mushrooms? Grab these mushrooms real quick. Or does she just want me to go to... She wants me to go to the town hall first. That's fine. So the first show... I can sit on rocks now? Is that new? I don't know if that's new or not. First show we have coming up is called... I think I'm going to call it In Defense Of. I was gonna maybe call it Character Study, but I think I'm gonna kind of expand the scope a little bit. So basically, I want to talk about either characters or stories or entire games that I feel are either misrepresented or misunderstood in some way. And the first one, actually, one of the other reasons I wanted to play Animal Crossing is because Tom Nook is going to be my first subject. I'm going to talk about how I think he kind of gets a bad rap, and I don't think he deserves it. And just kind of, it's going to be kind of like the analysis videos we do, but just for one character or one story, and it won't be based on like a whole story time thing. And like the Tom Nook one's gonna be kind of funny. There's gonna be a little more comedy to it. Some of them will be serious. Like I want to talk about Sephiroth because I think he is a very complex character and he's kind of misremembered as just being kind of a pretty boy, edgy villain. But I think his edge is justified and there's a lot of interesting things to his character. I want to talk about some storylines like the twist in Star Ocean 3, which I used to hate. It used to be one of my least favorite things in all of video games. And now I really love it. And I think that it was just presented in a way, story-wise, that made it difficult to understand and gave people kind of the wrong idea of what they were trying to say. So I want to do a video about that. So, you know, I'm going to be kind of defending things, not necessarily to say something was good or something was bad or whatever. Like, I want to talk about the protagonist of BioShock Infinite, whose name I have suddenly forgotten, who's not a good person. Oh, I have Peaches. Cool. He's a very bad person, but he's the protagonist of the game. And I think that that's kind of interesting, because not only is he a bad person, but that's part of the game. That's built into the violence of that game, which I think a lot of people didn't like. They thought it was too violent, but I thought it was perfect for that character, once you actually got into who he was. So that's one of the series we're going to do. I think it's going to be called In Defense Of. I'm still working on it. We're not going to talk to Cherry yet because I want to make sure I'm like present and I can kind of record all of that. The next show is going to be kind of a limited edition, not limited edition, limited series called, I don't actually have a name for it, but it's going to be about Wonder Woman. Because Wonder Woman is my favorite fictional character of all time. And I really want to do some videos on her and kind of what I see as her strengths and some of the things that I see in the way that she's portrayed a lot now that I feel like aren't quite the character that I see. So I don't really want to talk about the things that are wrong, really. I kind of want to focus more on things I like. So the first episode I'm going to talk about a little bit the portrayal of her in a lot of different mediums that I find kind of counterintuitive and counter to her character and the way I see her character, because everyone has a different interpretation of a character that's been around for 70 years, right? But I have a very specific view of what I think she's like, and I want to talk about the things that I don't like, and then the rest of the series is going to be just focusing on things I do like. So stories that I have read of hers that I really like, that I think show her in a really good light, that I think writers who I think really get her. So that'll be really fun, I think. I want to have my house. Do I want to have my house next to a waterfall? I like having it near the beach, but I don't know if I want to have it like right next to the path. No, I think down here looks like a perfect spot for a house. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman. We're gonna talk about the original Wonder Woman run from the 40s, because I think most people have never read that stuff, and there's a lot that is in there that has kind of been left behind in the intervening years. And I just want to talk about some of the things that were really cool about that arc and some of the things that were built into her character, just to kind of give us a base to build on, and then just go through the years and pick out stories and approaches that I really liked. So that'll be cool. I think that'll be a fun series to do. I could talk about Wonder Woman forever. Wonder Woman and Kingdom Hearts are the two things that I can just talk about endlessly. Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, we have one more Storytime episode, which is the Recoded episode, which I'm working on right now. I'm editing it currently. And then we are going to do an analysis of Kingdom Hearts 2 and Coded. And then we're going to take a little bit of a break from Kingdom Hearts for a while, partially for my sanity, and partially because the next game we would cover is Dream Drop Distance, which is going to be coming out in HD in a few months. Not a few, actually, just a couple of months. So I feel like it's better to wait and have better footage to use for the episodes. And then, of course, we're going to cover everything else in 2.8, which unfortunately comes out of sequence for what I've been doing in telling the story chronologically, but I knew that was going to happen at some point, because when I started Storytime, Kingdom Hearts Key was the browser version of the game was going in Japan, and I knew that that was going to be chronologically earlier, but that it wouldn't be finished for a long time, so I was just going to deal with it when it happened. So we're going to cover those games for sure. I'll probably stream 0.2 and back cover, just so we can all get my live reactions of me just continually crying. I'm telling you, every time Aqua is on screen, I cry. That trailer that they showed made me bawl like a child. The one that they had recently where they just kind of showed the opening. So that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. What else do we got coming up? We have one secret project that I don't want to talk about yet because it may not happen. I'm kind of testing it and seeing if it's going to be possible. After Kingdom Hearts, the next story time is going to be Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's an anime that I've wanted to cover for a really long time. It is the series that I get asked the most about by my friends besides Kingdom Hearts. If anything, I've actually probably been asked about it more than Kingdom Hearts because it's just been out longer. I've explained it to a lot of people, and I've always gotten really good feedback on my summary of the series, and people have really understood what it was about and what it was trying to say after I talked about it. So we're going to go through that. We're going to do the original series and the movie End of Evangelion. I'm not going to cover the remakes, or, I mean, technically remakes, possibly sequel, depending on how much tinfoil you like to wear. I'm not going to cover them because they're not done yet. They probably won't be for a while. But that'll be cool. That'll be really fun. I'm happy to do another kind of anime-themed story time. Because Dragon Ball was really fun. Dragon Ball took way longer than I thought it would. And that's actually another topic I wanted to talk about. Kind of the past year of making videos and kind of the process I went through. Because going into this year, I was really, I guess self-conscious, or I felt like the format of Storytime wasn't really working. It wasn't really what I wanted it to be. And definitely the way that Storytime is now, the main like Storytime videos, isn't exactly what I wanted. I wanted them to be kind of more succinct and shorter, and to be able to tell a big story in kind of a short time span. Obviously, we're 28 episodes into Kingdom Hearts, it didn't happen. And so for a while, I was really kind of wondering about the direction of what I was going to do, and then I started doing the Dragon Ball series. My original intent with the Dragon Ball series was to do like maybe 2 episodes, maybe 3, before Dragon Ball Super came out, which I think was in June of last year. And I made the first episode, and I kind of introduced the series and the history, and then I talked about Jaco the Galactic Patrolman real quick. Like, really quick. I went through it really fast, because there wasn't a lot going on in it. I mean, I think there is when you actually read it, but in terms of the overall Dragon Ball story, it was really only the end that kind of related to it. And the first piece of feedback I got was, hey, go slower, I want to know more about Jaco, I want to hear more about that. So I slowed down and I just kind of went through everything the way I was doing with Kingdom Hearts, and people really responded to it. And I would get these comments of people who couldn't wait for their favorite part of the series, like, I can't wait to see this fight, or I'm waiting for this scene to happen to see how you describe it and how you draw it or whatever. And that was a really big deal for me. Like, I really took that to heart because I felt like I'd started feeling like I had failed in kind of my original intent for what Storytime was supposed to be. But that kind of showed me that I had inadvertently created something that wasn't what I originally intended, but was really cool, and it was working, and people enjoyed it. And those videos, those Dragon Ball videos, have been really popular, and I'm very happy with that. Because, again, I can talk about Dragon Ball forever, and I still need to do more Dragon Ball videos. I need to do an analysis video, and I need to do a video for the 20th anniversary, kind of like I did for Pokemon. I said I would do that, and I didn't. So that was really cool, and that kind of gave me a lot of confidence in the kind of videos I was making. But at the same time, I wanted to make lots of different kinds of stuff. And I did that a couple of times this year. I didn't have as much time to kind of do new videos as I would have liked. I did like the Firewatch video, and I did a video on indie games. So I'm been trying to branch out a lot. I just talked about a few kinds of different videos I want to do. I just want it to be kind of a variety. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. There's a lot of things I want to do. And I just think that it's fun to try new things. By the way, I forgot what they asked me to do in the game, so I've just been walking around. My assumption is that most people aren't going to watch the actual gameplay. It's just going to be kind of on in the background. I feel like this is going to be a series to have while you're studying, while you're trying to fall asleep. That would be the highest compliment to me, for real, if you listen to this while you're trying to sleep, because I am very bad at sleeping. And if I can find something to help me fall asleep, it is my everything. I want to get your guys' input on this, because I don't know if this is something that just happens to me. I feel like it is, but I would be interested to see how this part of town is reversed from the way it was in my old game. That's weird. That just freaked me out. I want to know if this happens to anyone else. I doubt anyone has even made it this far in the video, but if you respond to the following thing I'm going to talk about, then I'll know that you have no life, and you made it this far. So I have a big problem with sleeping. I don't sleep well in general. I never did. Even when I was a kid, I could never sleep. But the weird thing that has made it difficult for me to sleep as I've gotten older is that I really don't like dreams. I hate dreaming. Which is really weird. Everyone always thinks I'm crazy when I tell them. I despise dreaming, and I'm not talking about nightmares. I don't have really bad nightmares or anything. I just don't like regular dreams. I find them really disconcerting, and I don't like the idea that I'm experiencing something against my will. That my brain is kind of going rogue and showing me things that aren't real, and that I'm in a situation where I don't know that it's fake. Most of the time, actually, I mean, I've always been kind of a lucid dreamer. I usually know that I'm dreaming, and I can choose to stop the dream if I want to. I usually try to make stuff happen on my own, but I usually can't. So I've always been very good at that. I know when I'm dreaming, for the most part, but I still just don't like it. And it makes me anxious, it makes me for real anxious, and I can't fall asleep because I don't want my brain to do things that I didn't tell it to, which is just kind of weird. And the more anxious you get before you go to bed, the more you dream, and the more that your dreams get really weird, and it doesn't help. And when I dream a lot, I'm really tired in the morning, and I can't even function, even though I got more sleep than I might have usually. This week I've been trying to catch up on sleep, and I've been sleeping more, but I've been having really involved dreams every night that I remember. And so I'm exhausted every morning. That's why I haven't been streaming or anything. For those who've been following the Pokemon streams, I've just been exhausted. And I'm getting sleep, not a ton obviously, but some. So is anyone else scared of dreams? Do dreams freak anyone else out? I hate them. I wish I could take something to not dream. Although anything that would affect your brain, Marcel, I think he's a mouse. Anything that would affect your brain enough to make you not dream is probably not good for you, and I would be scared of that too, because I'm generally scared of, or at least uncomfortable with anything that changes my perception. So I'm not big into drugs or alcohol. I've never been drunk. I just don't rock with any of that stuff because it makes me nervous. I just don't like the idea of it. Whatever anyone else does for themselves is totally cool. I'm not super judgy about that stuff, but for me, I don't like anything that alters my perceptions or the way my brain works. So that's a weird thing about me. See, now you know something personal about me. I've just been talking business and the channel and stuff that it doesn't affect you at all because you're just waiting for a video to come out. It doesn't matter if it's coming or not. But that's something you now know about me, is that I hate dreaming, and it literally keeps me up at night every single night. I have to physically exhaust myself to sleep. I have to Usually I'll read. I really fall asleep better with a TV or radio or something, but that's not always practical when you live with other people. And in my room right now I don't have a TV anyway. But do I have to talk to Nook again? I honestly don't know where I'm supposed to go. I fall asleep really well with something audio that distracts me and that my brain can focus on. Otherwise I need to read until I fall asleep, doze off reading 3 times. That's the magic number. If I have dozed off at least 3 times, sometimes more, then I can go to sleep. Or at least try to go to sleep. Sometimes it still doesn't work and I'll come downstairs and lay on the couch and watch TV till I fall asleep. Wow, you're awesome! I've never seen any of these villagers before besides Cherry. Marcel is kind of an odd name for a very, very clearly Japanese character. I'm just gonna take pictures of everything when I talk to these people. So yeah, that's been my thing lately. Like, that's the major thing. I'm just the most tired I've ever been, and I feel like I'm just sleeping worse and worse. I think you're supposed to need less sleep as you grow older, but I can tell you that for me and everyone I know that's kind of my age, it's not like that. Most of you statistically that watch this channel are 18 to 24. And just enjoy your nights now, because when I was in college, I would stay up till 5 playing Left 4 Dead and then go to class the next day, and I was fine. I'm not fine now. I have to take naps every day. I used to never nap. This bridge is a good place to meet Cherry for the first time, so hold on. So obviously we're meeting Cherry for the first time. I don't have any emotes, do I? Because I was going to take a picture here with some emotes. So obviously Cherry doesn't remember us, and that's going to be an essential kind of story point in the next Animal Crossing story time. You know, the typical amnesia trope that is kind of, I guess it's not really used anymore, but it was really big on soap operas back in the day. Most of you probably don't even know what a soap opera is. But yeah, that's what's been going on. I feel like this is a good place to end it, because I've just been running around aimlessly for a while. But hopefully this was a cool thing for you. Next time I'll probably have more direction in terms of like the actual game stuff. But I was trying to... I didn't want to have too many long, awkward pauses. I hopefully only had a few of them. So yeah, this is Chill Zone. If you guys like this, let me know. If this is weirdly something you enjoyed listening to, I can't imagine why, but if you have questions, if you want me to do like any Q&A stuff, either questions about me or about like any of the series I do, or just anything at all, like if you want to ask about Kingdom Hearts lore or whatever, we can do that. Just let me know. This is just going to be kind of my kind of vloggy, just do whatever I want channel. We're going to play other games. Sometimes it'll be Animal Crossing. Maybe like we'll play like Grand Theft Auto one day and not hurt anyone or do anything wrong. Just kind of drive around and see the vistas and whatever. It's all going to just be chill games and chill times, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So thank you for watching. If you got this far in the video, A, you're a trooper, and B, tell me in the comments what your favorite candy is. And that way I'll know. Just comment with the candy, and I'll know that you made it this far, and that you are wonderful, and I love you. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.